Your requests have been answered. Peach is back here. She was actually just making biscuits. Peach, you make more biscuits for your audience? They love you. We have an exciting video today because I have a bunch of super popular leggings that all sold out like right away, which I know is very frustrating, but these will be back because we're reviewing super popular flattering scrunch leggings. So these will all be high on the booty scale, super flattering, seamless scrunch leggings to make you look your best in the gym. So if you are a regular on the channel, you know one of my all-time favorite leggings are the Alphalete Amplify leggings. Oh, Peach. I was never a fan of the old school type of scrunch leggings that were a regular legging with just a really intense, very gathered looking scrunch that was often very uncomfortable and just super obvious. I'm more into the seamless type of scrunch legging where you almost don't even see that there's a scrunch, but you just get a lot of glute separation. I love to see a little 1-2 cheek action. Honestly, once you get used to wearing scrunch leggings, it's hard to go back. Sometimes I look at myself in gym videos where I'm not wearing Amplifies or a pair of like scrunch leggings and I'm like, what is she doing without the 2 cheeks? You know what I'm saying? So we know I love the Amplifies, but today we have 4 other brands that have come out with a seamless scrunch legging. None of them are really trying to be Amplifies. They all have their own things going on, which is why I'm excited to try them. They're all unique, a little bit different, but they all have definitely their pros and cons. So if you are someone who likes a super compressive legging, if you're someone who wants a scrunch but maybe something not too invasive, I'm going to go over all of the options today and what you're looking for and which ones would be the best for you. So if you are new here, my name is Kathryn. We do a lot of activewear reviews, other types of reviews on this channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so and give this video a thumbs up if you like these roundup type reviews with multiple different brands. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for more as of late, just because I feel like it's just a little more fun. Mostly because there aren't a lot of new brands that are really coming out with good activewear, so it's kind of nice to do little roundup reviews. So the brands we are covering today, we have the Lazuli Sculpt Scrunch Seamless, very highly requested. We have the Navigation Contour 2.0 Seamless Leggings. I've reviewed Navigation a couple times on this channel. Definitely not my go-to legging, but they finally have a legging that looks like it would appeal to me a little bit more with the scrunch. So very excited for that one. We have the Stacci Thalia Contour Leggings. We reviewed Stacci recently on this channel, but they just came out with a seamless legging that looks like it's gonna do some wonders for the glutes. And then we also have the Bluee Contour Leggings. That is Megan Grubb's activewear line. They also have been launching a pair of seamless leggings with a little scrunch that I thought I would try. I don't know if that one's going to be my favorite, but I always love to give the ex-Gymshark athlete brands a try just to see if there's something, their little hidden gem there. I also apologize if I sound a little weird, if I'm a little out of it today. I am just recovering from being sick, feeling like 90% of the way there, but still could use a little bit more rest. But I haven't filmed in a while, so I was excited to do this video. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, we are starting out with the Lazuli label leggings. So I actually have reviewed Lazuli here on this channel before, and that was actually, I believe, when they had their first Sculpt leggings, but they were just the regular Sculpt seamless leggings, not the Sculpt scrunch. And I have already worn these to the gym and they are way improved from before. There are still a couple things that I don't love about these, but they are like 10 times better than they were in the past. The past Sculpt seamless leggings, if you remember that review, I couldn't even get those all the way up my legs because they just had such minimal stretch to them. So they were essentially like unwearable. These ones are definitely wearable. So unfortunately, these are already just completely gone from the website. They did not launch that long ago, but they sold out really fast. So if you ever want to get your hands on these, unfortunately, you do have to be there right when the launch happens. Something about a scrunch seamless legging just makes people go absolutely wild. Like, I have never seen leggings sell out faster. This is across all of the brands today. So I have both the biker shorts in this chocolate color and then the leggings in this beautiful periwinkle blue. Nothing I love more than a periwinkle blue. So since these are gone from the website, I don't have the exact price, but their prices seem to be pretty reasonable at around $50. Size range could definitely be improved. These are only an extra small to large. Honestly, none of the brands today have a great size range. I believe the largest we see is an extra large. So as opposed to the Alphalete Amplifies come in 2XS to 2XL, and that is a much better size range than any of the other brands today. So if you're looking for more of a 2X situation, Alphalete is really the way to go. So these are made of a 93% polyamide, 7% elastane. They are a marled, a little bit on the stiffer side, sleek, seamless. So they don't have that itchy feeling at all. And they have these panels of compression. So let's go over some of the details. First of all, I absolutely love how subtle they've made the logos. I believe when I first tried these, the the logo was like a bright white on top of a colored legging. Now they have tonal logos. So we have a ribbed waistband up here. You can see the logo is very subtle right here. I've always thought their logo was super cute. Oh, my nails kind of match. How fun. So then throughout the legging, they have panels of this thick compressive portion along with just the regular material, which is that sleek, somewhat marled seamless. So this could still be a little bit stretchier if you ask me. It has a little bit of stiffness to it and that we'll see when they're on, but these panels allow for a lot of compression, especially in the lower thigh area, and they literally just suck up your thighs and just push everything up to the butt. So it's literally just like an instant glute lift. None of the other leggings really provide today, so these are truly something else. So you see, we definitely have a little monkey butt action going on in the back. That usually bothers me if it's like a different color, but since this is all the same color, it's just different like ribbed materials, it actually doesn't look like too much when it's on. So you get that thick contoured portion right below the glutes. You really have to situate this right under the crease of your butt so that you don't get like a double butt action going on. Then you also have some of that ribbed detailing that goes down the leg. We have a 25-inch inseam on these. So these don't have as much vertical stretch as the Alphalete Amplifies, so they do tend to look a little bit shorter on me. And then what makes these different from the old Lazuli Sculpt leggings is that these do have the scrunch. So we have a little bit of a widow's peak detailing down there, so a little bit of the ribbed goes down there, gives you a little bit of a rounder glute look. It is definitely a thinner scrunch. So it is a seam style scrunch similar to Alphalete. Really just a tiny bit of give, attaches a little bit away from the gusset in the back, and it's definitely on the thinner side and doesn't quite go up the glutes as much as the Alphalete Amplifies. So talked about these as much as I can while they're off. Let's try them on. All right, we're in the middle of getting these on, and clearly we have a ways to go. I just wanted to share that these are not an easy legging to get on. So if you are just like running to the gym, you need to be out the door quickly, don't go with these because they take honestly like a solid 5 minutes of adjusting. So I'm gonna get these on, then catch my breath again, and then I'll be back. Actually, I should slightly show the process. You're gonna get as much of the legging as you can around the glutes, and you want to make sure the bottom of this ribbed section is right below your butt. If it's too low, it's gonna squeeze into your thigh, so you want to make sure it's as high as you can get, and then you're going to adjust the scrunch. I think we're basically there. All right, so here are the leggings. Again, they are a little bit of work to get on, but once they are on, they do stay put very well. I have worn these for workouts and they have really just stayed in place. So we have that ribbed waistband. It is not nearly as like snatching and I don't know, constricting as like an Alphalete Amplify waistband, or at least the older versions. I would not say that it's too tight. Sometimes the Alphalete Amplify ones, people found them to be very tight and would kind of squish you. I don't feel like that's the case with this one. I don't get gaping, but it's also not like cutting into me. So the marled thinner part of the legging is really more of a light to medium compression. It's really not too stiff. I would say where the stiffness comes from is definitely these compressive ribbed panels, and then a little bit of the stitching as well. The stitching really doesn't have any stretch to it, which kind of creates some of the problems in the crotch area. I also feel like this fabric could overall be just like a little bit stretchier because I do just feel like I get bubbling issues in the crotch area, and because the seams can be a little stiff throughout the workout, occasionally it would kind of settle into the lips a little bit. Then you get a little bit of a camel situation. So that definitely can happen with seamless leggings. It was happening with these a little bit, mostly just because of the fabric. So I wish the fabric was a little bit stretchier. Definitely high compression in the thighs. So it almost feels like shapewear leggings in a way. You're really just getting a nice amount of compression in the thighs without being squished down anywhere you don't want to be. So that brings us to the back. So you want to adjust this to be right underneath the glutes. And then it literally just gives you like a little bit of a shelf situation going on. These are probably the highest of the booty scale today. Most of the leggings today are going to be high in the booty scale, but these are definitely super flattering. It's definitely like a low invasive scrunch. Like I really don't feel it too much, but that's because it doesn't really want to go up the glutes too much. You kind of have to situate it there. It definitely still separates, but it doesn't feel like it quite sits in as much as some of the other leggings, but still absolutely a high on the booty scale. The waistband goes above the glutes. I do almost get a little bit of extra fabric like right at the top here because they're made with like literally like an out pouch of fabric that if you don't have like massive glutes, it can be hard to fill this all the way. And I definitely don't have like the most glutes like right at the top. I'm more of like a, you know, middle to bottom kind of situation, so I feel like I get a little bit of extra fabric here, so just keep in mind if that would bother you. Definitely cellulite friendly. These are absolutely going to hide cellulite because of this thick ribbed material. Love the subtle logo. Again here, we have a high rise, they stay put really well, but you definitely do feel a little bit of restriction, especially in those seams around the inner thighs. So if you've ever had like a more stiff seamless legging, sometimes that happens. So they don't feel quite as like easy to move in as an Alphalete Amplify. You're definitely a little bit of restriction. Personally, I was still able to do my whole workout in the gym without an issue, but you do occasionally feel that. I'd say scrunch visibility, you definitely do see it a little bit, but it is on the thinner side. So this is kind of as long as I was able to get them. They definitely are more ankle length on me. We do have that ribbed detailing going from kind of the side of the knee area down the calf. It's not too tight on my calves though. 25-inch inseam, so they are just like a tad short for me. I could maybe pull them down a little bit more, but not as stretchy as something like an Amplify. And you also just have like a gentle marl throughout the whole fabric, which helps a little bit with sweat and things like that. So overall, I definitely like these leggings. They really do just amp up the glutes in the back a lot. Definitely not like an everyday legging for me, but definitely make me feel good. Sizing, definitely true to size if you're in between, size up. And yeah, I think that's it. We also have the Scrunch Sculpt Seamless bike shorts, and these are an 8-inch inseam. Let's just pop these on. So here are the bike shorts. Everything is basically the same as the legging. High rise, compressive in the thigh area. So these are an 8-inch inseam, but you do have to kind of get them up quite a bit, so they might feel like more of a like 7-inch. Since they're so compressive in the thigh area, you may feel a little bit squished at the bottom. Doesn't necessarily dig in because it's not like a seam that's the issue, it's just they're overall very compressive, so keep that in mind. It actually kind of felt better throughout my workout. I feel like the shorts are actually easier to get on than the leggings, and just easier to situate this rib section right below the glutes. And I also feel like it stays in place slightly better. I did kind of notice when filming with the Bluee leggings, they did slide down just a little bit. So I was getting a little bit of that double butt situation. So I felt like I didn't get that as much in the bike shorts. So just keep that in mind. I do really like the shorts. Love that they're a longer length, and we're still gonna be super flattering on the glutes. But yeah, I still get that kind of just like weird-ish feeling around the crotch. So that's the one thing I would definitely change about these. I just would like slightly stretchier material in those areas. All right, next we have the Navigation Contour 2.0 Seamless. I have not really had a lot of interest in navigation for a while. I have a whole video on that, but I saw someone on TikTok the other day say you're either a navigation girly or an Alphalete Amplify girly, and we all know I am an Alphalete Amplify girly. I just generally have not loved the navigation leggings because they're not really like a scrunch legging. You always had to just pull a bunch of the fabric just up your glutes, and I don't know, it was always a little bit uncomfortable in the crotch for me, which may still happen with these, but they finally did put a scrunch in. They had a pair of leggings with a scrunch a while ago. It just wasn't the best scrunch. So this one is looking better. So these are the Contour 2.0 leggings. So we have the classic navigation ribbed waistband. So here is the waistband, thick ribbed, and we have navigation embroidered into the back. We have the classic shading that goes all the way down the leg. That is pretty signature of navigation. Not a lot of colors in this one. They definitely stuck to the more neutral colors. We also have the signature smile under glute contour. Not my favorite as well. You really have to get it situated right into the exact place, and sometimes it can just look like butt sweat. It can bring your glutes down a little bit. Not my favorite, but I will say it's not looking too bold. And then this one also has kind of around the glutes, almost monkey butt as well. It's a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more subtle. And then we have the scrunch. So this one is 5 levels of stitching, looks pretty similar in thickness to an Alphalete Amplify, but the back rise is definitely very short. We're gonna be expecting to pull this up the glutes. So here is the scrunch on the navigation. Has a little bit of give to it as well. Attaches a little bit above the gusset and then kind of down the widow's peak. Then the inside is what you expect, just the inside of the stitching. Okay, well, let's hope I like these more than I've liked navigation in the past. Let's try them on. Okay, I'm not gonna lie guys, I really expected these to be a little bit better, but I should have known that something about the way the navigation seamless feels is just not my thing. Don't think these are bad. They're just like, if you didn't like previous navigation leggings, probably not going to like these. Overall, the navigation leggings are just like more compressive than I remember. They have incredible stretch, like endless amounts of stretch, but they just feel more compressive than you'd expect. So I'm actually getting like a solid like a good medium compression, medium to high in the waistband, definitely a pretty snug waistband. So overall, if you're in between sizes, size up. I'm still getting that kind of like intense Barbie crotch that I've always gotten in Navigation Seamless. It bothers me less than it used to, just because like I wear more seamless leggings now, and it's just like kind of what happens. But I always feel like there's a good amount of gathering, and it's just like more obvious in Navigation Seamless than other seamless leggings. So everything always feels a teeny bit uncomfortable in the crotch area in Navigation leggings. So when I wear them over long periods of time, just like a little uncomfortable in those regions. So we have that shading detail down the side. It's always a little bit thinner than the rest of the leggings, but it's not really an issue with sheerness because it's down the side. These are super stretchy, so you will get a lot of vertical stretch to make them into a more full-length legging if you're tall. And then we go along to the back, and I honestly just don't feel like they are making my glutes look super good. I feel like it's because they're more compressive than I thought, that they might even be squishing my glutes down a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was just wearing the Lazuli leggings and those were just so flattering, but I'm just not feeling like these are doing much for my glutes. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I tried these on. I adjusted them for a good 5 minutes. I even walked around in them, around the apartment, just to like kind of make sure they got to where they needed to be. And I'm just still not really feeling it. So we have that shaded detail around the glutes there to give a little bit of roundness. I like how subtle the under glute contour is. Honestly, you barely even see it. It wasn't too difficult to get right underneath the glutes. A medium invasiveness. It's really not too bad. Not the worst I've tried, but a little bit more invasive than the Lazuli. We're still gonna go with a high on the booty scale just because they are a scrunch legging. I'm still getting that glute separation, so I really don't feel like it's bad, but they're not quite as good as the Lazulis. Maybe we should do medium to high. I don't know. Definitely not very cellulite friendly. These are definitely a thinner legging. They have a little bit of marl to them, but Navigation leggings are always a little bit on the thin side, so I would be careful of that. And I would say the scrunch is definitely a little bit visible, but not too bad. I just like really don't feel like these are that flattering for me, and even just wearing these for maybe like 10 minutes so far, definitely getting a lot of discomfort in the crotch area. So these are just not going to be for me personally, but if you like Navigation leggings and you were kind of waiting for a scrunch, I definitely think that these are a step up from the original Navigation Contour Seamless. Quick full length view. These have more vertical stretch, so you can make them a little bit longer. This is before I stretched them down, and this is after. Next, we have the Stacci Thalia Contour Leggings. These were $69, so the most expensive out of the newer leggings we're trying today. And the size range is not great on these. So again, something about seamless leggings, brands just kind of like don't care about the size range, which just like, can we do a little bit better? So this one only comes in 3 different sizes. Extra small, small, which is what the size chart put me at. I always am a little bit scared of going down to an extra small because I want to be able to get these on, but that's what they put me at. There's also a small medium and a large extra large. So what that tells me is that there's no true extra small and then there's no true extra large. You just kind of have these like in-between sizes, and everyone hates an in-between size. It's just not great. So follow the size chart to the best of my ability, and it put me at an extra small small. So I wasn't super impressed with Stacci in my review of them. I definitely see a lot of potential, a lot of cute designs, definitely a lot of designs that are going for that kind of hidden scrunch detail. So that's why I was initially intrigued, but then they came out with the seamless leggings and I just had to try them. So I'm noticing some things that are kind of interesting on these that we will discuss in a second, but we have a 2-tiered seamless ribbed waistband, classic. So here's the 2 levels of ribbing. It's like a little bit more compressive along the top. I'm not a big fan of this tag logo that is sewn onto there. That could definitely be itchy because you are getting that on the inside of the waistband. So it's definitely made of a thicker type seamless material. Feels like it has a good amount of stretch to it, but sometimes they get a little bit stiff in places. Not a lot of details in the front. We have some ribbed details that go down the side of the leg. And then we also have a little ribbed smile contour at the bottom. I prefer this kind of like under glute contour to the shading that Navigation has. So here we are, it's just a little bit of ribbing right underneath the glute. So it's not super dark or anything, just a little bit of detail right below the glute to kind of round them out. We also have a widow's peak detail, and then this is kind of an unusual scrunch for a seamless legging. Everything else is kind of similar to the Alphalete Amplify, but this one, first of all, I don't like how it goes up onto the rest of the legging. I feel like that looks a little bit unfinished. And then it's actually more of a stretchy elastic than a seam type scrunch like the rest of these have. So it's actually the same type of detail they had in their like hidden scrunch leggings. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It's actually a sewn elastic that goes up the back rise seam. So it's kind of in between a hidden scrunch and a classic seamless scrunch. Makes me kind of excited about this one. I feel like that'll give you some lasting glute separation. It's really gonna stay there. So I don't know, this seems promising. Don't love that seam. Let's see how they are. Okay, Stacci, pleasantly surprised with these. I was a little nervous looking at the fabric that it would be a stiff seamless. These are so stretchy. Absolutely no restrictions in stretch. So I really love this fabric. It's definitely, I'd say, a more opaque material than an Alphalete Amplify. Sometimes the Amplifies can be a little bit sheer. This one definitely leans on the more opaque side of seamless while still being super stretchy. So excellent fabric choice, love that. Nice high rise. Waistband compression, it's about a medium. The rest, I would say, is light to medium compression overall. Really not super compressive, but not like as like naked thin as some other leggings. Still a big fan though. So you can see we do still get just a little bit of a Barbie crotch situation as you do with most seamless, but it just doesn't feel as uncomfortable as the Navigations. So these just feel a lot more comfortable of a legging. We have the ribbed detailing along the side and then goes down most of the calf. These are only a 25-inch inseam. These actually have good vertical stretch as well. So I'm able to get good length out of them. And then the details in the back as well. I really love this little underglute contour detail that's in the ribbed material. It's just a more subtle way to do an underglute contour. They also have some shading detail that kind of goes around the glutes here, gives a little bit more roundness, and then you have the scrunch. So a couple things about the scrunch. It really does feel like more of a stretchy elastic up the glutes than a typical seamless scrunch. So with that, really not invasive at all. So it really doesn't feel like you're wearing a scrunch. I mean, obviously you have fabric up the glutes, so it will feel a little bit like you're wearing a scrunch, but it's a much less invasive feeling because it has a lot of stretch to it with that elastic. That being said, I don't feel like it stays between the glutes quite as well as some of the other ones. Kind of a give and take. I still feel like it's going to sit between the glutes and be flattering, but it might not stay quite as well as some of the other ones. Still definitely deserves a high on the booty scale though. This fabric, the ribbing almost kind of goes onto the back of the thighs a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's totally cellulite friendly. This fabric is a little bit thicker than the Navigation, so a little more than that, but not as much as the Lazulis. The seams go above the glutes, just generally very flattering, very stretchy. I also feel like the scrunch, it's not as like shiny and noticeable as some of the other scrunches. I feel like this is kind of like almost a good like transition into scrunch seamless leggings. It's not super intense, it's not super noticeable, but it's still there, and the leggings themselves are just nice and stretchy. This little seam has not bothered me so far. It might bother me, or I should call it a tag. The looks kind of bother me because it just looks kind of like, I don't know, that it should be cut off, but it's not uncomfortable. And then the full length view, you can see some of the ribbing that goes around the calves, but it doesn't go on the inside portion here. And then just the super stretchy leggings. So these are definitely the best Stacci leggings I've tried so far. Way better than the other ones. I love how the waistband feels. It feels like it's going to stay up really well. And just a great fabric choice. And I do wish the seam didn't go up as high because it feels a little bit unfinished, but overall, I definitely am a fan of these. And in terms of sizing, the extra small fits really well. I would not say these are too small. So I would say their size chart is reliable, and that's what I followed to get to these. And lastly, we have the Bluee contour leggings. I had to get these in a size extra small. Listen, this is Megan Grubb's brand. She's based, I believe, in the UK. What time did these launch? 4 a.m. Pacific time. I was not going to wake up at 4 a.m. I just simply wasn't. So when did I get on? Like 7 a.m. Then by 7 a.m., of course, the only size left was an extra small. So we went with an extra small. So these are $59, the mid-range of the leggings today. Not the most expensive, not the most affordable. Extra small to extra large. Would love to see maybe a little bit of extended sizing, but not bad, but not the worst today. All right, we have a ribbed waistband. These are looking better than Own You, which is Hannah Oberg's activewear line. Another Gymshark athlete turned, you know, having their own brand. So Megan Grubb, I always liked her. I didn't really watch her very closely, but in terms of how Gymshark athletes were, I always felt like she seemed really nice and very real. And I believe this is named after her dog. The website is Move with Bluee. It might just be Blue, but there's 2 E's, so I've been saying Bluey, which I also believe is the name of a kids TV show. I had seen some pictures of the scrunch and I wasn't sure, but this is looking better. It's looking less like a sphincter scrunch and more like a seamless scrunch like we've been dealing with today. So we all know from my own YouFit review, I'm not a big fan of the sphincter scrunch. That's like a signature Gymshark kind of look. Just a scrunch that's like this small in the middle of the glutes. Doesn't really provide any glute separation, just literally looks like a sphincter. So that's not my thing. This is looking better. So we have more of a thinner feel seamless, feeling stretchy, a little more similar to Alphalete Amplify than any of the others today. The others are feeling a little bit thicker. So the logo itself is fine, like I don't mind the bluey thing, but I wish it was a tonal logo instead of the white. This is giving Gymshark vinyl. We have a little bit of contour detailing down the side of the leg, and then we have the scrunch. So here is the scrunch. We have a little bit of widow's peak detailing down into the scrunch, and then attaches a little bit above the gusset. This one is definitely reminding me most of Alphalete Amplify here. So I hope I'm able to get these on because they are going to be a size too small. I can already tell the waistband is going to be squishing me a little bit. So don't be surprised if that's happening. That is just because I had to get these in a size down. Let's try these on. All right, here are the Bluey leggings. So I am still able to get them on in the extra small. Wouldn't recommend sizing down just because they were a little bit difficult to get on and I do feel a couple tight spaces. So overall compression is light to medium waistband compression. I thought it would be worse in this extra small. It's actually not too bad. It's just about a medium compression. Definitely compared to the Stacci leggings and the navigation leggings, I do get a lot of tightness in the knees here. So the fabric definitely lacks a little bit of stretch. Kind of what I was worried about with these. So that's not really a sizing issue because I could probably put on any size in like the navigation leggings and they would still have stretch just because that's how the fabric is. We're definitely getting a little bit of tightness there, and that's knee tightness. Everything else, like due to the size extra small, I'm not really judging on. Definitely a little bit of tightness in the crotch, similar to the navigation. So not getting as much gathering, but the seams, again, they do lack stretch. So I would have liked a slightly stretchier seam, just makes it a little more comfortable in the gusset area. And then the back, we have that scrunch. So because the fabric lacks a little bit of stretch, I wanted to get them up the glutes a little bit more. I also feel like this has a little bit more gathering than maybe something like an Alphalete Amplify, so a little more sphincter looking than I would prefer. I prefer a little less gathering, just a little more scrunch action. I am getting a little bit of a wedgie feeling, so I'm gonna give it about a medium wedgie feel. Overall length, you can't make it super long because it doesn't have as much vertical stretch, so keep that in mind if you're on the taller side. We have some ribbed detail that goes kind of along the thigh here, and then also down the calf there. So definitely not bad leggings in terms of a scrunch seamless. I just prefer a slightly stretchier fabric and maybe a slightly more discreet scrunch. I honestly was expecting these to be a little bit worse, so really not bad. Probably not great cellulite coverage though. It's a little bit on the shiny side and not a super thick fabric. There's also no marl to the fabric. So no marl means everything's just like a little bit more visible. Yeah, really not bad. Hopefully they maybe improve the fabric a little bit more stretch over time. Then quick full length view, they're not quite full length on me. All right guys, that is it for the video. Also just going to do an honorable mention for my favorite, the Alphalete Amplifies. They are definitely the most expensive today, but they always have 10% discount codes. My code is Kathryn, gives you 10% off, which actually makes it more affordable than the Stacci leggings. So not the most expensive. Also always a good one to buy on sales, but they have a 3-tiered waistband. They have the scrunch in the back, and these are by far the stretchiest leggings today. Have a lot of vertical stretch, just like endless stretch, very comfortable at the gym. And these are one of the only leggings that I wear to the gym where I actually feel like they just continue to fit better and better throughout my workout. Like they don't slide down, they stay put. They just like, honestly, they look better at the end of the workout than they looked at the beginning. And these are the OG seamless scrunch leggings, just a super flattering scrunch, high on the booty scale. So if stretch and functionality are important things to you, definitely the Alphalete Amplifies. They're not going to be the most durable ones today. I personally am careful with my leggings at the gym, but you know, I still will use a glute band or certain things, and I don't have issues with these. But if you're someone who's constantly using Velcro or I don't know, snagging your leggings on things, some of the other leggings today will definitely have a little bit more durable of a material, a little bit more snag resistant. But honestly, none of the leggings today beat the Amplifys for me. It's hard to beat a favorite, you know? Okay, overall thoughts. Honestly, all of the leggings were really decent today. Really no bad options. Definitely some that I lean more towards for personal preference. Overall, the best. I definitely thought the Lazuli Scrunch Leggings did an amazing job. Honestly, there's really nothing else like it that's like shapewear for leggings that is still somewhat functional. They also just had like all the right compression in all the right places. I just wish the fabric was maybe a tiny bit stretchier. And then the Stacci leggings were also a pleasant surprise. The fabric was really great and the scrunch was a little bit different. Then of course the Alphalete Amplifys. Honestly, none of them really will take their place. They're just different options. I feel like I like the Lazuli second, but they're a little less functional than the Amplifys for me, and they definitely are more of a statement. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you are not yet subscribed, make sure to do so. As always, leave your video requests in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!